Hello. Ladies and gentlemen, hello. Greetings, salutations.
I have an idea.
Welcome to the Sean and Sax Show. Saxony has an idea. Babe, the floor is yours.
Light bulb. Hey, that's a big deal right now. My brain is not working regularly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I've got Hashimoto brain right now.
Yeah, tell us about that.
It's dumb. It sucks.
Yeah. What's your idea?
My idea is I was just playing the guy's Bradley's clip on the magic purse and the magic floor. It's so funny. And then it was making me think about something else, and now I forgot because that's my brain.
Your brain doesn't work. Speaking of that, you guys should go check out my buddy Bradley. He's really freaking funny, and he did a funny video about how he's like, I have this magic floor, and if I drop my shirt on the floor, magically it makes its way back to the closet. And if there's this basket where if I put my pants in them, magically they get folded and put back on my shelf. And a whole bunch of people were like shitting on him, going, "Oh, dude, your wife, you're making fun of your wife, whatever." And he's like, "Well, she has a magic purse. Like all the money that's in there disappears, and then money magically shows back up in the purse. Yeah. So she has a magic purse. I have a magic floor. Right. It works out great."
Okay, I just remembered. So I was thinking about how I listened to this other little clip of a podcast where we found it through that guy that we've been talking a lot about this week, but we're not going to talk about him, where it's like the women are in it for they wait at the finish line.
Oh, that guy. Yeah.
They wait at the finish line. But this is a podcast that someone else did with 3 chicks. And it's like where most women wait at the finish line and they won't be with a man in the struggle. And I highly disagreed with it. But I wanted to talk about that because, it's like there's this topic that's come up where women basically are takers.
Yeah.
And women basically only, for the most part, bring sex to the table, and how they wait at the finish line, which interestingly enough, these women kind of admitted that that's what they do. Now, how do you to me, I don't agree with that, because if you're ending up at the finish line, I don't even know where to start with this.
Just go down the rabbit hole. 'Cause this is, I think I know where you're going, but this is an interesting conversation for a lot of different reasons, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, it's like with me, I don't know where the finish line is. How do you even judge if say you end up with a guy who's crazy successful, right? Well, what happens if shit hits the fan and he loses out? And right. So then you bail at that point in time? To me, it's there's no permanence. So it's okay, I wait at the finish line. I don't want to deal with the guy, or I don't want to be a part of the struggle. I don't want to be with the guy working at Burger King, and then have his side business while he's trying to, build a bigger life, or however that looks. But it's just a weird thing, because it's there's no guarantee at meeting a guy at the finish line anyways.
There's no guarantee. I mean, I did a post yesterday about a story about masculinity. I think this is a good place to start with this, because it's there's a lot of ideas about what it is, right? And I just want to talk about masculinity aspect of this, because the guy that Saxony's referring to, I saw this random post on Instagram and went down the rabbit hole. And I love to consume. I'm constantly learning, and I like to see what's out there and see what people are talking about and stuff. And this guy, I mean, you could smell it from a mile away. He's probably, mid to late 40s, angry, bitter. I mean, he's just like a woman, hater, just straight up. You know what I mean? And look, there's a conversation that's happening out there where a lot of people are talking about this, where it's women serve this one purpose, and you can go back to the book Sex at Dawn and talk about the reproductive deal and who we are and how men, are the builders and the creators, and the women are here to just have the children and do this other shit, and you guys are here to, repopulate the world. And there's a lot of different ideas around this. There's a lot of different conversations around this. You talk about Andrew Tate and lots of different people that have very strong, unique identities and opinions around masculinity, around relationships, around the man's role, the woman's role, the whole thing. And it's really interesting because, as Sax and I, we'll use us as an example, how we were dating. You know what I mean? You dated guys who had a ton of fucking money that offered little connection, right? Other than the financial experience of being with somebody with a ton of money. I dated younger women who didn't have children, who didn't have, any past or history like that really didn't have any other value proposition to a bigger life, to talking business, to scaling, to growing, or anything along those lines. Look, there's no right or wrong around any of it. Like the gospel according to us is how we operate.
Yeah.
So this is what we know, this is what we do. But it's an interesting conversation around how a lot of people, you're gonna link up and identify with somebody that's speaking to where you are in life and to your, I truly believe, to like what you believe in the core. So if you're an angry man and you're a bitter man and you're not getting laid as much as you want, and you think your wife's an old hag, or she's just popped out a couple of kids and her tits are saggy and yada 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 and the whole thing, like you're gonna align with a conversation if you're that guy, if you're angry, if you're mad, so on and so forth. And if you're a woman who just, and it's just an interesting thing because I don't know, and this was part of what I posted, I don't know what the definition of masculinity is. Like I'm reading this new book. I don't remember the name of it. Actually, I'm like 3 chapters in. Let me find it really quick just so I can, and I recommend it. I posted about it. King, Warrior, Magician, Lover by Robert Moore and Douglas Gillette. King, Warrior, Magician, Lover. And, it's talking about the recovering the archetypes of the mature masculine. Now, as I was reading this, I realized that if you asked 100 people what the definition of masculinity is, you're probably going to get 99 different definitions. And as I was reading, I started realizing that like there really is no definition to what masculinity or femininity is. And without question right now, there's this huge war on it.
People can't even identify.
Right. I mean, and I'm not even
define a woman.
Yeah, we don't even need to go down the rabbit hole about this or about that or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't need to, right?
Right.
Piercy boy, I'm doing a podcast. I'll call you back. You good? Okay, bye. Anyways, that's live. You see, like that's how I operate. My son called me. I answer. My kids call me. I don't care what's going on. I answer. But the truth of the matter is, like, as I'm getting older, I'm learning more and more and more that I'm going to define my life. Period. Where I'm going to define what love and connection and marriage and our relationship is for me. Yeah. And this is something I feel really passionate about. Like we're trying to fit. We as a collective, we as a society are trying to figure out what a good marriage is, or a good husband is, or a good wife is, or what masculinity is or femininity is. And the truth of the matter is, like, there's no one book. There is no one rule book. There is no one anything, right?
Right.
And I think this is a powerful conversation because there's a lot of people that are trying to find the answer. They're trying to find the answer of what is, do we have a good marriage? Yes or no? Like based off of what? Like what's the foundation? What's the benchmark? What are we grading our relationship against, or me as a man, or you as a woman, or you know what I mean? Any of these things. And it causes a lot of conflict. I mean, I've had this conflict for years and years and years. Am I a good dad? I don't know. Based off of what? He does it this way. He does it this way. I don't know. I'm in the middle. Am I good? Am I bad? Is he right? Is he wrong? And as I was reading yesterday, I just kind of realized, like, there is no definition to any of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And these guys who come out who talk about what a woman is or what a woman should be or this or that or the other, it's like, cool, man. If that's where you roll and how you operate and how you vibe, that's totally fine for you. But I truly believe, like, the grander level of expansion, the higher level of expansion, allows a human being to create the reality that they want versus trying to fit in the mold.
Right.
You understand what I mean?
Yep, absolutely.
And you could go down the rabbit hole with this and talk about the grass being greener and the thought process of, well, my wife's getting old and I want something young, or I want a rich guy to take care of me and protect me, but that dude couldn't fight his way out of a wet paper bag, but he's got a jet and a yacht. You know what I mean? Whatever. It's a really interesting time, and I say this simply because I'm finding more and more and more comfort in creating my own definitions.
Yeah.
And really identifying who the fuck I am as a man. What is a man to me? Like, what is masculinity to me, right? And the way that I talk to you, the way I treat you, like, we're building what we're building, and we're building what works for us and what we're both actively growing. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And it might not work for other people. It might be totally off base. I mean, I've said things online. I've said things on social media where people will message me like, I can't believe you talk to your wife that way. I can't believe you would say that about your wife or whatever. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's just a really interesting time for men and women to identify like who the fuck they really are and choose the relationship, choose who they're with.
Yeah, I think now more than ever too is like we're waking up to the whole matrix and like the all this like social bullshit that we've been taught, and we're starting to question like, wait, is this even real? Which is a beautiful thing, because a free thinking individual that's great,
sure.
Right? Now, we're not all going to agree if we're free-thinking individuals, hence why the society likes us to all be the same, because things are very, they're usually very cohesive and operate very nicely that way. But I like what you say about like you're defining what masculinity is to you. You're defining what a good husband is. You're defining, because it's true. It's like we have our own chemistry and our own makeup together, and me as your wife is probably, you're a different good husband to me than you would be somebody else.
Sure.
Because it's in meeting my needs and me meeting your needs, and in the dynamic of what we're doing. Also, like back to Brad's post, like, or his reel, it's like if his wife takes care of him in their home and that's what she wants to do, awesome. If he had a wife that wants to make jewelry, awesome.
Right.
If he has a wife that wants to go build and work for some massive company, awesome. Like, it's that whole thing is like being able to be flexible and understand and work with your partner of what does a good life look like?
Right.
Like following both of your dreams and meeting each other and supporting each other's dreams is ultimately what makes the good marriage to me.
Yeah.
Like supporting each other in whatever that is.
Yeah, and you look at that guy and like everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I vehemently disagree with what he's saying. Is I look at it radically differently. Yeah. But I think the thing that's really interesting to pay attention to is when you and I are in a place of frustration or anger, we don't do well. For sure. We don't make good decisions. We don't think clearly. And I think this is something that as I'm reading this guy's post and looking at this, like I know Brad. Like I've talked to Brad. Brad's a happy guy, right? Brad has his shit. We all have our shit. But and
he has a wonderful wife.
There literally isn't anything positive or value adding that this guy was talking about with really any of his posts, right? and you guys all know what I'm talking about. You can call me judgmental, you can call me whatever else, but you know when somebody's fucking angry. You can just see when someone is angry or mad at life or bitter towards their ex or any of these things, which really, in my opinion, skews your thought process. It skews your vision. And this is what my point is. A lot of the conversation around like the angry, bitter guys are like, these women don't add any value and you're just here to fucking reproduce for me. Those guys aren't bringing any type of credible value to a relationship, meaning they're not showing you their heart. They're not showing you truth. They're not putting you on a pedestal and honoring you as a woman. They're looking at I'm angry, you're beneath me, go fuck yourself kind of deal. And hey, again, go do what the fuck you want to do.
Sure.
That's not my jam. That's not how I look at it. But I also realize I'm not angry. I'm a happy guy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I have my days like everybody else does, but I truly believe that so long as you're operating from a place of anger, of frustration, living in the past, fear, remorse, regret, you're going to see the world through a skewed reality. And so it's more important than anything. If you want to be a good lover, be in a good relationship, just be a good person. You got to get yourself fucking taken care of. You have to get yourself happy. There's no way if you're an angry, and we saw this dating, right? I mean, you talked about this all the time. You'd sit down with a guy on a date, and the first thing he does is talk about how big of a bitch his ex was.
Yeah, this guy. That's who he reminded me of 90% of the guys on Bumble. Right, unfortunately.
And you flip the tables, and you talk about sit down with a woman, and all she's talking about is how big of a dick her ex was. Right, and you're bringing anger and frustration to the table there. You're bringing remorse. You're bringing literally. This is like I guess a good point for anybody out there who's listening, who's single and dating. If you sit down with somebody and the first thing they do is start telling you how bad their past was and how big of a dick their ex was, a red flag. You know what I mean? That person has some serious shit they got to deal with and some serious trauma that they're trying to figure out, and they're angry. And you don't want to be in a relationship with an angry person. You start a relationship with an angry person. So I think it's more important now than ever before to really go in. We talk about this all the time. Relationships are not 50-50, it's 100-100. It's you getting you right, me getting me right. And then you can operate from a place of saying, this is what it means for us to build this relationship. I'm happy, you're happy. This is the path that we're charting, and really truly coming into the space from a place of peace and from happiness. And I think, there's a lot of people out there that are not very happy. There's a lot of people that are angry. There's a lot of people that are super frustrated with their life, frustrated with the government, frustrated with the market, frustrated with their ex, frustrated with their lot in life. And so long as you stay there, I mean, how will you ever build anything new?
Right.
How will you truly define what a good relationship is for you while you're angry? How will you ever define what masculinity is for you or femininity is for you while you're operating from a place of anger and frustration? You never will.
Right.
In my opinion.
What really caught me too is that a lot of the dialogue in this coaching or whatever you want to call it is, it's like punishing it's like it almost looks like it's punishing the woman for having issues, right? And then you talk about taking young kids and showing them the dramatic and the horrific part of divorce.
Yeah,
and all of these influences, it's like, well, if your biggest complaint is women with daddy issues, which sounds like the majority according to him, and then you talk about where you want to instill this protection in teenage boys so that they know what's coming, why don't you get to the source of why women have daddy issues? Why don't you look at the source of why divorces are happening?
Mm-hmm.
To me, when I was listening to all of that, and believe me, like, women have their part in it. Like, there are women that would fit in that category, but it's a very, very slim number in my opinion. It's like, what's happened to the family? What's happened to fathers? What's happened to masculinity? What's happened to the safety of a family and knowing that a good man is in that household and leading that family and not leaving children, not flying the coop, not getting on drugs, of all the things that take a man away from his family? That why is the children of generations suffering to where this is now a fucking problem that women are creating, and now marriages and basically live in this scarcity victim bullshit mentality that honestly is perpetuating the problem in the dating world that I have experienced. It's like this, we have to have radical ownership of this.
Yeah.
Like, yes, women have their shit, men have their shit, but sitting there and pointing it and getting on and campaigning against women with freaking issues, that's bullshit. Like, that's like, okay,
Sax got pretty fired up by this the other night, just in case you
to me it's like it's a deflecting. Sure. I'm going to deflect all responsibility because I'm this it's all these bitches problem.
Yeah, but that's why but this goes back to my point, which is very important to understand. Like, when you're angry, you're not operating from a place of creation. You're not operating from a place of value. You're literally just shitting on everybody. When I was angry, I spent a lot of my life angry. I was a victim. I blamed everybody. Like, when I had anger issues, like, I get angry now, but I don't have anger issues. When I had anger issues before, I was angry at everybody. I blamed everybody. I took zero accountability for anything. My life was shit. I was just literally tossed, as the good book says, to and fro with every wind of doctrine. I was mad all the time. I was blaming everybody all the time. I was never in like a real creative state. And you flip the script on that, and you take ownership of your life. You take ownership of your body. You take ownership of who you are. You take ownership of your fears, of your trepidations, of your past. You take ownership of all that, and then you can actually build something different. And like with you and I, like, that's really what kind of our 1.0, 2.0 was. It was like, oh shit, I was kind of touching some things that you hadn't touched, and but vice versa. And hey, I'm poking here and poking there, and it's starting to kind of open things up. And then all of a sudden we both look at it and go, hey, we got to take 100% ownership of this deal to really work together. And that's something that I value tremendously in our relationship is, knowing that we have the awareness enough to know that when we are in that space of frustration, anger, bitterness, whatever, like, it's up to us to pull ourselves out of that. Like, I can't pull you out of that. You have to go do that work to do that. But I really do think that there's a lot of people that are operating from frustration, from anger, from the past. And that's the reason that a lot of the things in your life are perpetuating. That's the reason a lot of the things in your life continue to happen over and over and over again. Is it doesn't matter if you read one book or 300 new books. You could go hire 600 new fucking coaches. It doesn't matter. But so long as you're operating from the same anger, the same frustration, the same past, the same operating system, you're never going to build anything new and create anything new.
Yeah.
Like a case in point, right? We hear about this all the time. Trust. You've been lied to. I've been lied to. Your trust has been broken. Mine's been broken. We both struggle and have struggled with trust, right? If you think about it, like I can continue to operate from that place of I'm going to get screwed. She's going to screw me over. From that place of anger, frustration, bitterness in the past, I can keep operating from there. It's very, 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 very simple to do because it takes no accountability. Or what I chose to do is flip the script and say, I don't have any reason not to trust you. You haven't lied to me, you haven't cheated on me, and whatever. Yeah, but bitches all cheat. Like a lot of these guys talk about. It's like you put everybody in the same bubble, you're going to get the same fucking result. Good luck dating. Good luck finding anybody, right? I made the conscious decision, like, I have to change the game for me. I have to do something different for me. So I had to reframe the entire trust conversation, regardless of what you did or didn't do, and say, I have to trust. I have to give everything, put all of the chips on the table, open my friggin' heart, like open my soul, be all in order for me to be able to get what I want. For me to get what I want. And you had to do the exact same thing. And I think that was probably our biggest aha epiphany moment last year, was realizing so long as we play guarded, so long as we play he's going to fuck me over, she's going to fuck me over, you will get fucked over. It will happen. It's bound to happen. And whether you burn it down or they burn it down or you burn it down collectively, it will happen. You and I had to kind of pull the cord and be like, yo, this cannot happen anymore. Like, we have to figure out our own shit. And for me, I had to go into the depths and say, okay, like I'm going to rewrite the entire game around trust, around connection with you. And once I made that decision, once I started putting myself into a place of happiness and positivity and trust and opening and giving, the whole game changed.
Yeah, it's so true. And it's true because we experienced both ways. It's like the bigger the walls you build, the more structure, the more it's like you end up, it's like the untethered soul, you've imprisoned yourself in a safe house to guard yourself against what? Right. Now you're isolated alone in a safe house. Right. That's a brilliant book, by the way. If you haven't read it, I recommend you read it. Untethered Soul. So good. And that's like, to me, it's like the more I let go of certainty, the more I let go of protection, the more I uninsured myself, the more I stopped trying to make sure I had, some type of security or plan B or whatever nonsense I was creating out of this matrix that's like, what is this anyways? What is any of that going to do that's going to pay more dividends to me than just opening my freaking heart as wide open as possible and just loving with all of me? And if I'm actually doing that, I can't lose anything. Like, could you betray me? Cool. You could do that. But I will know, and I will have experienced full-hearted loving you. And that's something that very few people, I think, give themselves the opportunity to do. Yeah. Because, okay, what can you actually take from me that's worth more than having full-hearted love? Yep. I can't think of anything. Right. There's not cars, there's not jewelry, there's not money, there's not houses, there's not, insurance policies, there's nothing. Once you've experienced a full-hearted love, there's nothing out there that's worth not having that. And I feel like and maybe this is just, we just happen to be a great couple that we can do this, but I don't believe that. I believe you have to let go of good. You have to let go of all of this that you feel that creates safety in you. I say safety with mockery because I was obsessed. It's actually the least safe. But I was obsessed with finding safety. Until I realized I was suffering because I'm searching for safety and security in what? Something else besides yourself. Exactly. Right. And if it's ever outside of you, it will never be as good as what's in you. Right. And it's like, that's listening to people like that talk, because there's a lot of that talk going on right now. And it's like, these are just people that have built themselves into, basically, they've just imprisoned themselves with these guarded walls and big freaking machine guns. And of course, like, we're okay with part of that, but it's like, you don't even know what you don't know. Right. And I'm not here, I don't care how you live your life, but we're going to talk on the flip side of that, because if there's people out there that are like listening to anyone who, listening for guidance, listening for information. I would love to be a beacon of light on the opposite. Sure. It's like, no, like all of these worldly things, there's nothing as valuable is the love I have for my husband. Like there's nothing, because I know what that feels like, because I have allowed myself to get to the point where I don't need safety. Right. I don't need all of that stuff to make me feel better. And guys, like this was something that I struggled with, because I came from a place where I felt like I always had to have some type of quote unquote safety, right? In case something happened. And I was living in anxiety or a state of worry because I was looking for making sure I was safe instead of having faith and trust and love. Like those are beautiful things, and you can't have that when you're that guarded.
And on the flip side, to the guys protecting themselves, I hear this all the time. Sean, why didn't you sign a prenup? For a couple different reasons. The first one is I again, there's no judgment against anybody who has, but like I didn't sign a prenup because I looked at it as this conversation of like, well, I'm already putting into my mind and into my reality, like, when this doesn't work, this is what we're going to do. Now, again, I'm not a billionaire. I don't have, daddy's money and all kinds of other shit that, family makes you do it or whatever. I looked at it from the perspective of, I can try and quote protect myself from this woman. If she decides to fuck me over, if she decides to do these things, I could sign this prenup, right? And I'm quote unquote protected. The flip side is like, what does that actually mean? We chop up some money, you get this, I get this. I looked at it from the perspective of, if I'm really the king, if I'm truly the provider, if I'm truly the creator that I say I am, if I'm the creator that I say I am, if I'm the guy who's built what it is that I've built, and I don't want you to take it if you fuck me over and leave me, then what would stop me from building it the same or bigger, with or without you? That was what went through my head. I'm like, I didn't look at it from, we're going to work together and we're going to make this bigger and we're going to help each other grow and the whole thing. I looked at it from the perspective of, if my wife fucked me over and quote took half of my shit because she decided to start banging the pool boy or some shit like that, as a creator, as somebody who has fierce belief in himself, I'll just fucking build it again. Yeah. And that was like, so I never had on my plate this, well, if we have to pull the parachute, like this is what's going to happen. Here's the plan B. Here's whatever. I don't believe in plan B. Like, fuck that shit. I'm all in. So that was the choice that I made, is like, when you talk about the women wanting the safety and the men wanting to protect themselves, the more you try and protect yourself, the less you're actually allowing this woman in. Like, think this through, fellas. The more you try and protect yourself, the less protection you actually have, because what you're doing is literally alienating your woman. You're putting a wall there saying, I'm going to protect myself, I'm going to protect my money, I'm going to protect my heart, I'm going to protect my image, and literally all you're doing is building walls between you and her. You have the keys to everything. You've got the logins, you got the passwords to everything. You've got all of it. At the end of the day, and I feel more at peace than I ever have. I'm in more of a creation mode, more of a build mode than I've ever been in my entire fucking life. And you literally have the keys to everything. You know what I'm saying? Well, let me just finish with this thought. Like, I really want to emphasize this, because there's a lot of guys who have this idea that somehow, some way, they're just going to get screwed over. They're going to get fucked over. And the reality is, man, if you're looking at life that way, if you're looking at what could be taken from you versus what could be added to you, you will always lose. If you're looking at life and you're looking at your woman of what she could take from you versus what she could add to you by you going all in, by you handing her all the keys, you will lose every single time. You will always have a wedge between the two of you. You will always have this misconception that she's just, at some point in time, she's going to fill in the blank. But I'd have you consider for a second, I had never done this until you. I had never been all in until you. I made the conscious choice. I could live in protection mode. I could try and protect my heart, protect my soul, protect my money, protect my assets, or give you everything. I had two choices. And I don't know that very many men will ever make that decision, because it is terrifying. But at the same time, it is the most liberating, freeing thing that I've ever done. I've made more money in the last couple of years than I have the last 20 years combined by you and I being together, by you and I being aligned, so on and so forth. The growth that we've both experienced, the growth that I've experienced personally over the last 2 years, 3 years, has far surpassed the last 10 years. And I know, I don't even have to say, I think it's because of whatever. I know it's because I chose to go all in. I chose to give you all the keys. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to hear. I could try and protect. But the truth of the matter is, the more I give my woman, the more protected I am. The more my woman knows, guys, listen to this. The more your woman knows, the more protected you are. While your woman lives in wonderland of, do we have money? Do we not have money? Is he gambling at all? Where are we? What's going on? That causes her to not feel safe. The more you give her, the more safe she'll be. The more safe she is, the more she's going to show up for you. You'll get whatever you want. I told those guys earlier today as we were talking, like the more I give Sax, the more I open up, the deeper I go, the more I get back. And not only from you, but from myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I truly believe, like, you could walk out the door tomorrow, take half of everything. It would stop me from doing nothing. I would continue to just keep building my life. I would continue to grow. I would take the lessons and continue to just stack lessons upon lessons and just keep going. Not that either of us want that to happen or whatever. I'm not daring you or challenging you. Babe.
I like you way
you should,
too much.
I'm a bad motherfucker.
You are the best.
You've been on Bumble. You know what the hell's out there. But this is really important, man, because there's so many people struggling because they're trying to fit into something. They're trying to fit into a mold or fit into this idea and find this perfect euphoric moment. And I don't think it exists. You have to create it. Mm-hmm. And so long as there's guys over here that are angry and guys over here that are all fluffy puffy and people that are, endorse marriage and people that shame marriage and all this other shit, it's like, you've got to define what the happiness is for you. You've got to define what works for you. You've got to define, and I think a really good place for people to start with this is, I ask people all the time, what do you want? Like, I don't know. Yeah. What don't you want? You know what I mean? Like, if you don't know really what you want or what you want, what don't you want? You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't want to be cheated on. Okay, let's go down that path. I want to have some financial security. Let's go down that path. Like, it's a really, really, really powerful place to be when you can identify yourself being the source of power, yourself being the source of energy, yourself being the source of happiness, like you said.
Yeah.
I don't make you happy. I add to your happiness.
Oh, yeah.
I tell very inappropriate jokes. I sing you songs and it makes you laugh.
But see, that's one of the attributes I wanted in a husband.
Like when you were doing your earrings today. It's great. I'm just very inappropriate with Saxony. It's fantastic.
You are. But I love that. I love that childlike kid in you. Like, you're just fun. You're just.
And by childlike, we mean like literally running around the house naked and like straddling you in front of a computer and just
trying to work.
Completely fucking ridiculous.
That is my life.
That's just what it is. But
it's a really noisy world out there, guys.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about this on the Den call the other day, and it's like, when it comes down to it, you've got to know what feels right in your heart.
Right.
What feels right in your marriage. Like, close out the whole world, because it is so noisy out there.
Yep.
But when you are really aligned with your partner, like Sean and I are super aligned. We weren't always. Like, we had a chaotic period, believe me. That's why we have polarity in this. But it's when we shut out the whole world and we focus on us, and we can talk with us, and we can connect with just us, we know exactly what is truth. We know exactly what is right. We know exactly how to be aligned. And we don't need to go and Google the definition of something to find that out. We don't need to go and listen to this influencer and this psychologist and this, whatever. Like, we know our truth within our marriage. We know the trust. We know all of that. Like, I can't tell you, it's so crazy. Like, the more I've let go, I've already said this, but when I've let go of all this safety, all of a sudden I feel so incredibly safe and connected with my partner, knowing that, like, I trust this man. Like, I've never trusted any human being on this planet as much as I've trusted you. And it's not that you gave me, like, there's nothing in stone. It's the fact that I know your heart and I know your soul. But if you're not that connected, like, you're probably not that connected to yourself. So you can't connect to your partner like that. Hence why you build all of these things around you so you feel relevant.
Right.
So you feel like
safe.
I've got all my things.
Right.
Like, I've got them all. Can't share. I don't play well with others, but we should hang out. But don't touch my things.
Yeah.
Don't touch my stuff. It's like that's if you're not willing to give everything, then how is she going to trust she has your heart? I mean, hello.
Yeah. I want to say one more thing before we wrap this up. And again, it doesn't matter who these people are and stuff like that. I'm very much, I've read a lot of the books. I've seen what people talk about. I mean, you're major in college and studying anthropology. And all that other stuff. Like, you can say whatever you want about men and women and what their roles are in life, the whole thing. Like, I see a lot of people wearing this badge of nobility by being shitty to other people. You know what I mean? I think that somehow, the old saying, hurt people. You see a lot of broken, really hurt men that just talk shit, talk down to, belittle women, and it's not who I am. It's not how I've ever been. It's not how I'll ever be. I'm actually the exact opposite thought process. Like, there's a lot of men who are trying to teach their sons to watch out, be careful, you know what I mean, with the women and the things, and don't get screwed and whatever, and you're building yourself into a place of fucking fear. Yeah. When you operate from a place of fear, you're not a good human being. You're trying to protect yourself, and when you go into a place of fear, you get angry, you get scared, and you lash out and you say and do dumb things. Like, I truly believe in honoring my partner. I mean, you're my partner. You know what I'm saying? Like, we watched 300 last night. It's one of our favorite movies because that scene at the well, the Persians come in and they bring the heads of the conquered kings and shit like that, and the first person to be like, "Yo, pump the brakes, motherfucker," is the queen. I mean, they're walking through the town.
Much.
Yeah, I mean,
she's a great character.
You're walking through the town, and the first person's like, "Yo, don't be coy with your words around here," and she's like, "Only Spartans give birth to real women." This guy's real men. Who is this woman to speak amongst men? And that's, she's like, we only give birth to women. And it's just an interesting thing because I don't vibe with this whole hierarchy aspect of me being more powerful by treating you or anybody like shit.
Right.
Look, if you're stupid, you deserve a smack in the mouth. I'm happy to oblige. You understand what I'm saying? No problems there. You got
you're good at talking about and calling out stupid.
No problems there.
No
stupid or people that are dishonest or whatever. That's fine.
Yes.
But I really want to challenge people to understand the sanctity of their marriage in a way that they honor it as much as they honor themselves. As much as you honor God, as much as you can honor anything out there, honoring the person that you're with. You know what I mean? You might not love that person right now. You might not be in love with that person right now. You might have some serious shit you got to work through. You might have years and years and years of unhad conversations, like whatever that is, right? But there's nothing noble about treating your person like shit. There is nothing noble, men, about treating women like shit. There is nothing there is nothing that you should be talking about, joking about, laughing about in treating your woman like shit, period, end of story. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't care how big of a bitch she is. I don't care how crazy she is, whatever. I truly believe, I'm not raising my boys to be like, hey, you got to be careful. These chicks are fucking crazy out here. I'm raising my boys to be men of honor, to be men of courage, to be men of a sound mind. And if you're a man of honor, you're a man of courage, you're a man of your word, you're a man of sound mind, you won't align with stupid people. You won't align with some negative freaking chick. You won't. You'll align with a fucking queen. Period, end of story. And so I really encourage, especially you guys listening, to understand, we're setting the tone for our sons. We're setting the tones. If our sons hear us talking shit about our wife, how the fuck do you think they're going to learn? What do you think they're going to learn? If they're watching you disrespect your woman, in front of her, behind her, indoors, closed doors, whatever, that shit is what they will believe to be reality. And so I say that with a lot of humility and respect. Fellas, step your fucking game up, man. This is your goddamn partner, bro. Like, this is your partner. This is the person that when somebody...
interject. This is what I love about you. And I know I'm biased, but this is what I fucking love about you so much, is that you care about men stepping up and being better and not accepting the bullshit, not accepting, there's this reason, this reason. No, you're just like, just be better. That's the whole sentence. Just be better. Yeah. Be fucking better. Step up. It's not giving men excuses on why they should have poor behavior. Not giving men excuses to be victims. Not giving men excuses and permission to be freaking crybabies that don't show up in families, that don't show up in marriages, that don't respect the institution of marriage or their wives or women in general. It's like, you are so good at this. And I just love it so much that you are so outspoken about it. You're so open-hearted about it, and you challenge men. And I've seen you transform men that have then transformed marriages. I've seen it. Yeah. I've seen it so many times over. It's incredible. And I'm just so grateful for you, babe, that like you have that opposing voice. It's like, no, do better.
Yeah. Thank you.
At all costs. Like, I'm serious.
I haven't said this. I struggle with it a lot, and you know this. I haven't said this publicly too much, but I struggle with it a lot because it's like, look, if you don't want to be better, then why would I waste my time? Yeah. You know what I mean? But I also realize that every time I share something and I go hard in the paint a lot. Like, I got no problems going hard in the paint, and I have no problems saying what I'm saying. But I struggle a lot with this because it's like I feel like I'm constantly reminding men and trying to remind men and trying to shine a light that sometimes it exposes you and like pricks your heart and it hurts, and sometimes it's like, yeah, hell yeah. But the reality is, like, a lot of times I just think, what the fuck am I doing this for? Like, hey, let the dead bury the dead. You want to be a fucking miserable asshole? Then go be a miserable asshole. Fuck. I do, and I feel like, you know, I've been given this microphone, this megaphone, not just this one, but like through social media to really speak on this, you know, to try and lead men to be better. It's just, I also realize too that it's a difficult thing watching for me. Call it empathic, call it whatever, but it bugs me watching men play beneath. They really are. And I think it bugs me as much as it does because I was once there.
Oh yeah, of course.
And a lot of people are like, well, Sean, you know, you share all this shit. Well, why didn't you do this in your first marriage? Well, because I didn't know what I know now, motherfucker.
That's why I'm the same way. Now. That's why I'm passionate about the same thing, because I've been the opposite.
Right. So it's kind of like if I know what I know right now and I'm watching you do what I did 10 years ago, this is where you need somebody like me. You need me because I did what you're doing, and let me show you how I got out of it. Let me show you how I rewrote the story. Let me show you how I authored a new book. Let me show you how I went from that guy to the guy that I am today. And that's hard sometimes because I also realize there's a lot of people that are just absolutely complacent and okay being miserable.
Well,
I don't think really anybody
trigger
wants
people
to.
Big time, because you trigger, like, you love people enough to tell them the truth, and that is something that's so rare. You'll do it publicly, you'll do it behind the scenes, it doesn't matter. You love people enough, and that love sometimes looks really, really, really aggressive. But it's if you know you, it's love. It's like you are willing to put your head on the chopping block to speak truth to someone in a way that they need to hear it, because you won't enable them. You're not going to coddle their bullshit. You're not going to sign off on their on less than them being less than everything that you know that they are. And that's rare. And when you get to experience someone that loves you enough to call you out on your shit, that's amazing. Like, we have a marriage like that. Yeah. I will call you out, you call me out. And that's another part of what bonds us so much is I know you will tell me the truth, and I know you expect excellence in me and our children and your friends and your tribe. Like, and that sometimes is, people don't understand that because they've never experienced someone that will give them radical truth, all of their medicine without any sugar. And it's okay, because that's sometimes what it takes. And you have had so many testimonials of that where people are like, you had to punch me in the face with that. Well, and
I want to, when I was where I was 12 years ago, 13 years ago, 14 years ago, I couldn't hear. And maybe this helps some of you understand maybe a little bit more about my antics or how I am or why I say, like, I don't rehearse anything. You know this. I'll pull the car over. I will just, my fingers will just go crazy. Bang, I hit send. That's why there's typos in my shit and the whole thing, because when I sit, when God's like, write this and I have these emotions and these feelings, I just send it. I don't think about it. I don't process it. I don't think, well, let me rationalize this. Let me think about it. I've come to a level in my life where I'm like, when something just literally enters my brain, God put it there, send it. Like, you have to. Like, the more I think about it, it's more my ego. It's more my pride. I water shit down, and I won't do that anymore. I did that most of my life. So a lot of the things that you see, you're like, oh man, Sean, you're so abrasive, or you're so this, you're so that. That's just truth flowing right through me. But I want to say this, like, when I was in my shit years ago, I couldn't see anything. I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't hear the sweet whisperings of my mom. I couldn't hear the tenderness of God. I couldn't hear any of these little things and whatever. I physically had to be fucking punched in the face. I had to have a coach rip my soul out of me, call me out in front of men, in front of the world, like publicly humiliate me, make me feel like, and a lot of people today have a hard time with this, like, oh shit, why don't you be more nice, whatever. That's what I needed. And I want to be super clear on this. Like, I know who my avatar is. I know who I'm speaking to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that there are men that need to hear this shit and get kicked in the fucking mouth. I know it. I know it because it's what I needed. And I say that with a lot of humility because I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I don't try and be everybody's cup of tea. I don't give a shit if you like it or not. Like, when God says speak, I speak. When God says open your fucking mouth, I open my fucking mouth. And a lot of times it's like very, very, very interesting conversation for people because they've never heard it like that. They've never had anybody come at them like that. But I know where I was 15 years ago, and I wish that I'd have had somebody punch me in the face. I wish that I'd have had friends and associates and colleagues around me that had the balls and the audacity to stand right in front of me and shake the fuck out of me and be like, look, you dumb fuck, this is what's going on. I didn't have that. And so I look at it, fast forward to today, and it's like God's put me in a place where he's like, you need to stand right in front of some of these motherfuckers and slap them right in the face. And that is not everybody's cup of tea. That's not how everybody does it. That's fine. But that's what I needed years ago, and that's what I choose to be today. That's how I choose to show up today. And to me, it's like you said, I mean, my inbox, I get hundreds of messages a day between Facebook and Instagram. You know this. People think I'm making this shit up. I get hundreds of messages every single day from people. I get messages from women saying you changed my husband's life. I get messages from guys saying I was going to kill myself yesterday. I didn't. I read your book. It changed my life. I mean, every fucking day I get these messages. And so it's like, you know, I appreciate them. They definitely pour into my cup. They definitely fill me. It definitely motivates me and inspires me. But I realized that, like, I want to be the guy that I wish I'd have had in my face 15 years ago.
Of course.
I want to be the guy that I wish had stepped right in front of me, had smacked me right in the face and said, look, dummy, here's the path that you're on, and this is where you're going to fucking end up. And been someone who could teach me and show me and guide me and help me get out of my own way. I didn't have that. And so now today, you know, as I choose to use these megaphones and share the messages and the whole thing, like, I know that God's put us here for a reason, and he's put me in the position that I am for a reason. And I'm not here to save you. I can't save you. But 15 years ago, I wish I had somebody to shine a light right in my eyes and be like, oh, okay. And maybe it would have changed me, maybe not. I don't know. But all I know is, like, today, like, if I can just crack the door open a little bit for you, or shake you a little bit to where you're like, whoa, wait, let me look at this a different way. It might be the difference between you living and dying. It might be the difference between you being married or getting divorced. It might be the difference between you breaking a generational chain and actually having a good marriage, becoming a good fucking father, and not. Like, I don't know, right? I'm not attached to that outcome, but I do know that, like, now more than ever, especially with how chaotic it is, with how loud it is all over the place, it's like, sometimes you got to step up and scream a little bit louder. Sometimes you got to rise above all the fucking noise and be even more bold than what is happening, and get a little bit more vicious and a little bit more relentless and a little bit more ruthless, because, you know, at the end of the day, maybe that's what a couple people need. You know what I mean? I know it's what people need. I know it's what I needed.
Yeah. I love this. We had literally no topic when we sat down and turned these mics on. Sort of, and there we go.
Anyways.
There we go.
Yeah, guys, write your story, man. I mean, take from Saxy and I what you will. I mean, take a nugget here. If you get a nugget, great. If you don't, that's totally fine too. But, like, we keep saying about the same thing. We just want to show people what's possible. We both lived in fear. I lived in so much fucking fear, man. I literally lived most of my life terrified. Terrified to go to bed, terrified to wake up, terrified of everything. I was terrified of myself. I mean, I was terrified of what I saw in the mirror. I was terrified of everything. I lived most of my life in just a ridiculous state of fear, you know, and if we have the ability and the opportunity to shine a different light and to maybe help somebody see something a little bit different, like we've seen, you know, that's what I'm attached to. That's what I'm committed to. That's my payment, my investment with God is to do that work, you know, but
I sure love you.
You should. I'm fucking amazing. I really am. I'm a catch. I'm a keep. My mom always told me that. She said, "You're a catch. You're a great guy." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Thanks, Mom." So, I love you too. Well, guys, get after it. Build big shit, man. Really, like build big shit. Love really hard.
Just all
like,
in.
Love
Go
hard.
all
like,
in, all in, all in.
We've said that so many times, and I promise you, man. Like wherever you're at right now, whatever you're dealing with, whatever's going on. I promise you, the one thing that you will never regret it, is going all in.
No.
Never.
You won't. Like, it's more fulfilling than anything.
Yep.
It's like
the most secure thing that you can do, ladies, go all in. Fellas, the best thing that you can do to protect yourself is to go all in.
I told my girlfriends this just to wrap up the other night when we went to dinner. So we were talking about this and this and this and all that stuff, and I said, you know what? Fuck all this stuff. I said, it's all great. I love it. But I prayed so hard for Sean. I was like, he's literally, like, he's what I care about. And I just said that, like, randomly. And I thought about it, I'm like, I mean that. Like, you're it. Like, I gave you everything. Like, and you've given me everything. And everything else is just whatever. And it's really, really, really freaking gangster when you can get to that place with your partner.
Totally.
You have to experience it to understand it. You just do.
Yep. The only way to experience is to do it.
Yep.
All right. Anything else, babe? Good job.
Nope. I think we're good.
Guys, thanks for listening. If you got value from this, please share it. Please leave us a comment. Send it to somebody that you know needs to hear it. Yeah. We appreciate it. Yes. Okay, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.